Good evening, everyone. We are the Tidal Garden. We are a team based in Venice who decided to... See? Okay. We're a team based and from Venice who decided to join our experiences in gastronomy, science, and cultural programming 2 years ago to start our venture. And this is how we met Marina. Marina is a farmer who lives on the Venice Lagoon, and the soil salinization in her farmlands has risen in recent years due to rising sea levels. And her crop, as you can see in the pictures, is not fit to this new condition of the soil, and it grows smaller and burns the closer it is planted to the water. Like Marina, farmers on coastal areas are losing their farmlands to soil salinization as they cannot grow anymore their traditional crops. And in face of this economic loss, they're left with the perspective of selling off their land, meaning losing their job and their communities. We're talking about farmlands that sit next to tidal areas. So this is a global phenomenon, it's a global problem, but in Veneto alone, these tidal farmlands cover an area equivalent to the Venice Lagoon, which is 6% of the total agricultural land in the region. And as the sea level rises, and with it the soil salinization of farmlands, we need to grow new food that is adapted to these new conditions.
Thank you, Ludovica. So the solution The solution is we provide farmers with new crops that can grow on salinized land. And we also build a market for this new food. We're talking about halophytes. These are plants that thrive in salty soil. They are crunchy, tasty greens. They can be eaten fresh or cooked. They can be preserved. They're rich in vitamin C, and they can substitute salt in diets. In Venice, these plants are native, actually, and they are known as piante di barena. Many of you will know them. Although, unfortunately, their taste is still foreign to most people. So the Tidal Garden wants to bring this new taste into local and popular culture, gastronomic culture. How do we do it? So we provide farmers with the seeds, the knowledge, the technology to grow these new crops, and we give them access to the Tidal Garden label. We are currently running tests in 3 different farms in Cavallino Treporti, which is in the northern part of the lagoon. We are building a scalable and standard process for agricultural cultivation of these new crops. We are also developing our own seed varieties, which we source locally to preserve the local genetic heritage and to also guarantee the quality of the product that we sell.
This is the only available solution on the market that keeps in mind the practical and the emotional need of the farmers. As Filippo explained, the Tidal Garden designed new purposes for salinized cropland, rejecting the wasteful and useless practice of washing it with fresh water or the expensive layering of fresh soil every other year. We rather prove or adapt the job of farmers and preserving to the changing condition their sense of belonging to the land and the community. We aim to change crop, not jobs, and ours is a solid alternative to it's a solid alternative to selling off the land to speculators, opposing it with a strong culture of community and a resilient, mesmerizing perspective for younger chefs. So the Tidal Garden is cheaper, it's long-term, it's resource-aware and empowering. We generate revenues in two streams. On one side, we train mentor the farmers to grow the new crop. And on the other side, we sell the products and we license the Tidal Garden quality label to selected Tidal chefs. These are local engaged chefs and food artisans that acknowledge the value of the Tidal Garden work with farmers and support the emergence of a new food culture by developing novel recipes and food products. After 3 years of research, we're currently working with 3 farmers and with the municipality of Cavallino Treporti in the northern lagoon. We've been involving 15 active Tidal chefs in more than a dozen events. And after 3 years of germination, we are ready to bloom in 2024, expecting to harvest 3 tons of fresh halophytes from our test fields and to double the number of Tidal chefs and start placing our products in local shops. You have a tiny taste of those, an example of what the Tidal Garden can develop with their partners, and it's now final time to taste it. Thank you.
As you chew on it, are there any questions from anyone, members of the jury? They are spiced with stuff, so you vote in their favor at the end, I think.
One type of plant, or
there's several varieties of these plants. The most famous is Salicornia. Possibly most of you know it, but there's also a lot of others that are native, and we are already developing the technology, the farming technology, to grow them and to introduce them to the local taste. So there's tons of them, and they're very interesting. You're tasting 2 of them here. The green jelly is Dieta Marittima, it's marine beet, which is the ancient variety, a relative of every variety of beet we know. So that's also interesting in terms of the possibility and the potential of growing and developing varieties from one wild native plant. And the other one, with the tangerine, is with the tiny leaf of inula, which is another very aromatic, very intense and interesting plant.
Just to add, also, we are currently growing 5 of these plants. So we are, just have a number this year.
Yeah, no, I was asking what makes it special to the Tidal Garden, your startup, meaning why could I not, wake up and start growing the crops? Is there anything that you can claim as value that you have that gives you a competitive advantage to someone else who might come along and have the same idea?
Of course. So the first problem is that these crops are not known at all. So the first thing that we bring is actually knowledge about the existence of these crops. And then the second step, because then everybody knows about it and everybody grows them by themselves, is that for some of them, it's not that easy to grow them, and each species has specific needs which are unique, and we are learning as well as we grow. The third part is that most of them are wild species, so they're not domesticated. And so the seed varieties are wild seed varieties. So we're building the seed bank, which will enhance the quality and so on. Yeah.
If I can add, what is also interesting is that by working with the farmers, there's an adaptation of their knowledge as well to these plants. So somehow plant and farmer are adapting to each other, and the knowledge is built together with them. And also these plants are typical of tidal environments, but we are growing them. We are the only ones who are developing a growing process that is on emerged land and on fields. So it's not in a protected environment, it's on fields that farmers can actually just plant them.
Can't hear you.
Proteins. No, it's not the strong point. They're greens, so they're like salad, or the protein content is just like a salad.
It's mainly vitamins and fibers.
So one more thing, I might have missed the point, but do you also have or foresee kind of collaboration with cuisine schools or something to? Did you say that? Or?
You see, cuisine schools.
Yeah, I mean, just cooking schools, chefs, and so on.
Yeah, it's part of our plan is actually providing also the training for chefs and in school